Punk Revolution now. Today I'm going to be doing a video that is frankly pretty uncomfortable. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this video. I thought maybe it was a little bit inappropriate because it involves a lot of personal drama. But Sweet Trip is a band that I have made multiple videos on. I gave their newest album a very positive review. I included them in my top best albums of 2021 list, very high up in the top 10. And I even interviewed them. And I have three very positive videos on Sweet Trip, and it feels very uncomfortable and weird for me to have those three videos up on my YouTube channel when I now know some very uncomfortable things about Sweet Trip and why this band has, well, they're no longer around. So I wanted to kind of get this information out there. I think it's important for fans to know. However, if Valerie or anybody involved finds this video and they don't like it being up, you can obviously reach out to me and I will gladly take it down. I'm not trying to make anyone involved and uncomfortable, and obviously I'm not going to monetize this video because I know it's sensitive content. But this is stuff I realized I tweeted referring to the situation, and lots of people were not aware of what kind of was going down, even though Sweet Trip are a huge band in the underground scene, a huge following. And I realize most people don't spend all day on the internet, on Twitter, on Reddit like I do, so they might not be familiar with the situation that has many layers to it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk through this stuff. Like I said, sensitive topic. Don't want to, make anybody uncomfortable. If anybody involved in the story is not happy with this being on YouTube, please reach out and I will gladly take it down. But the story really starts, you can see I have this Reddit thread opened up. This is in January of 2022, so only a few months ago. Valerie, who is in Sweet Trip, so Sweet Trip is a band that has a huge following going back from the 90s, released music in the 90s and early 2000s, and they have a comeback album last year. And over a decade of not releasing any music, it's a comeback with Robbie and Valerie, the two vocalists of Sweet Trip. Very exciting, and then they released this album that does really well. I review it, give it a good score, interview Robbie. I mean, it's a great album. And then out of nowhere, boom, on the Sweet Trip official Instagram, Valerie just out of nowhere is hi, due to personal reasons, I'm sorry, I'm no longer to continue in Sweet Trip. It's a very, I actually have a better screenshot here. It's very just abrupt, thank you for the support, please enjoy the music while I'm gone. Okay, boom. That happens out of nowhere, no explanation, and that's very, very strange for a band that's very successful for them to just abruptly break up with no explanation. And here I am on the Reddit. You can see lots of comments here. Obviously, people are speculating about what's going on, and that leads to more Reddit speculation, more Reddit drama. Of course, Reddit is playing a big role. Reddit is always snooping around. You can see here's someone made a freaking infographic documenting the breakup, and this is where we get a little bit more into the drama. We got a timeline here. I think this is a little bit overboard to have a whole freaking timeline, but whatever. January 29th, this is when she departs. I'll, by the way, post all these Reddit links in the description. And this is a pretty interesting one. So I actually saw this on Twitter and actually replied to Robbie because I felt like I was close with Robbie at this point because I interviewed him. He said he was leaving California. He wanted to maybe even get out of the United States. This is January 26th, so this is right around the time, like 3 days before Valerie announces that she's leaving the band. And someone posts in this Reddit screenshot, this is some weird stuff. I don't want to be petty, or I don't want to be a petty drama speculator, but someone recently pointed out to me that the Eve Foolery Mill 5, which is a name of one of the best songs on their newest album, Eve Foolery Mill 5, is an anagram for Valerie, love of my life. So it might have been a part of their breakup. So just a little context here, Eve Foolery Mill 5. It's on their newest album. I called it out in my review as I think one of the best songs on the album. If you switch around the letters in the song title, you get the phrase Valerie, love of my life. And this is very unusual because if you listen to this song, it's Robbie and Valerie singing together, and it's like throughout the whole album they're singing together. Very intimate lyrics. that are very romantic, very passionate. And that's something I talked about in my review, is like, this is a very passionate, romantic, loving, affectionate album with Robbie and Valerie singing together. But the plot twist is that Valerie has been married for like 20 years. And Robbie and Valerie they're not a couple. And when I reviewed this, I didn't think too much about it. I thought, okay, well, maybe, they're just really close friends. Obviously, men and women can be close friends and even love each other platonically when they're not necessarily in a relationship. That's fine, whatever. I didn't think too much about it. But then for this kind of anagram, Valerie, love of my life, to come out, okay, it's one thing to have a crush on your bandmate. It's another thing to have this Valerie, love of my life song title. So there's some speculation already going on Reddit. And guess who decides to pop in on the Reddit thread that I'm on right now with the screenshot to help clarify a little bit? Well, I can't show you right now because the comment is deleted, but if we scroll down here, you can see comment deleted by the user. I unfortunately did not screenshot it, but I was following this drama as this unfolded. This comment right here that's deleted was a comment by Valerie's husband. And Valerie's husband, I unfortunately don't have a screenshot of the comment, but he's basically saying here, okay, heads up, Valerie did not know about the anagram. And Valerie and her husband have long known that Robbie has had a crush on Valerie. Okay, that's fine. They can tolerate that. They can kind of roll their eyes at it, whatever. But for him to release a song and have Valerie sing on it without her being aware that it's an anagram that says Valerie, love of my life. This album is more or less basically a love letter to Valerie that Valerie performs on, and she's not even aware of it. That takes it from like, okay, you have a crush on your bandmate, the bandmate's gonna tolerate it because whatever, at least you're making good music. Takes it to a whole nother level of, okay, this is like getting really creepy. This is what, people are speculating, okay, what's going on? So, is this what led to the breakup of Sweet Trip? And Sweet Trip fans are pretty hardcore fans, like Radiohead or Smashing Pumpkins, like dedicated hardcore fan base that listens to all their music, and they get upset. They're upset now. They're upset at Valerie, they're upset at Robbie for being a creep, and they're upset at Valerie's husband. And they start coming up with a narrative in their head that Valerie's husband is really possessive and very jealous and finds out that maybe Robbie and Valerie are having an affair, or maybe he's just speculating and he gets nervous and finds out about this anagram and forces Valerie to break up from the band. This is what people on Reddit, who obviously love Sweet Trip and love Robbie, who's the lead songwriter, they want to defend him to death. And it gets really nasty. So I'm just going to show you some, this is another, unfortunately, like, kind of the further we go in the story, the nastier it gets. But like I said, people on Reddit where is it? Look at this freaking crazy Reddit thread where someone posts all these screenshots from Discord, from Valerie's husband's Instagram, basically just trying to make Valerie's husband look like somehow the bad guy here, and that Robbie didn't do anything too horrendous by making this anagram. This is where it's getting, okay, this is really obsessive, this is really creepy, I don't like any of this. And unfortunately, Valerie's husband is getting a lot of trash on Reddit by freaking assholes who can't mind their own business. And guess who pops up again in this Reddit thread where this freaking crazy image was posted? It is, again, Valerie's husband with a very long comment. And I'm not going to read this whole thing out loud. I don't want to. But basically what he is saying here is, I didn't want to open a can of worms by posting about Robbie being a creep. I didn't want to, get people targeting me. I didn't want to upset Valerie. I didn't want people to ruin their idea of who Sweet Trip was. I am just a human being who is upset because Robbie assaulted my wife, and that is what led to the breakup between Sweet Trip, who at this point was just Valerie and Robbie. And as a, human being with emotions and feelings getting blamed for the breakup of this band that has been broken up because of this predator who assaulted my wife, of course I'm going to lose my cool on Reddit and spill the beans. And then when he spills the beans and then more people on Reddit start attacking him, trying to blame him for this, he drops a very, very upsetting post here. I actually don't even want to look at it. Kind of going into detail here about, Valerie being assaulted by Robbie. And he doesn't say specifically what the assault was, but it sounds traumatizing, And it's horrendous. It's horrendous. There's so many layers here because I'm someone who's capable of separating the art from the artist. But when the actual art, like the album that was released last year by Sweet Trip, is the medium through which a predator is being a creep, like, I cannot separate the art from the artist because the art itself is literally a tool used by a predator to express his creepiness. Very upsetting stuff. Very upsetting. I interviewed him for like hours. I interviewed Robbie, the predator here. And, there's no way I could have known. I feel guilty anyways. This is one of the horrendous situations whenever there's an assault, is everyone kind of, that it gets kind of entangled in it much beyond just the predator. It sounds like Valerie's husband is blaming himself for posting this stuff on Reddit and ruining the reputation of the band and upsetting Valerie, and Valerie wants people to still enjoy the band. So, obviously Valerie is very hurt. Valerie's husband is hurt. I'm upset because I interviewed him. I interviewed a predator. I feel horrible about it. That's why I'm making this video now, because I want to get this out there so people don't see me just having this positive, fantastic, whatever interview with this guy. Like I'm worshiping him. No, I know what's going on. I'm going to leave the interview up because I don't know where this drama is going to go. I don't know if it's going to end up in, I highly doubt it's going to end up in court or something. But if it does, I'd rather my video like exist as more evidence or something. I don't want to just, it's all out there already. The point is, though, it hurts a lot of people, and I don't want anyone to blame themselves. I don't want, obviously, Valerie to blame herself. Obviously, I don't want Valerie's husband to blame himself for posting this on Reddit. I'm not going to blame myself for interviewing Robbie, and I don't want any Sweet Trip fans to blame themselves. Although I will say the Sweet Trip fans on Reddit who went creeping and trying to manipulate the situation to try to blame Valerie's husband, you should actually be ashamed of yourself. The point is, though, like, this is Robbie's fault, and he hurt a lot of people. I'm very hurt. It's very upsetting, and to think that Valerie was holding this in, and it's like it's like the music is so intimate. I don't have anything else to say other than it's going to be a while for me to be able to, we can go back to like the 90s and early 2000s stuff, way before any of this horrific stuff unfolded. But even then, this is pretty depressing stuff because both Valerie and Robbie seem like very good people. But now we know that is not the case. Valerie obviously is a very good person. I don't really even know how to wrap this up other than it's upsetting. Unfortunately, this seems like this happens a lot in the music industry. And Robbie, you should be ashamed of yourself if you're watching this. And like I said, everyone involved, I don't want you to blame yourselves. Because like I could tell in the post on the Reddit thread that a lot of people were feeling sick to their stomach. I'm sorry, to break this news. But like I said, I don't want a bunch of positive footage and features and stuff on my channel regarding Robbie, now that we know the truth about him. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry to all the Sweet Trip fans who had to find this out. I'll post all the stuff in the Reddit, below, Reddit threads below in the description box. Punk Revolution now. Be careful with, creeps. They are, they can be horrible people.